Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
If this isn't the most Indiana cup in the world. Good morning. That was so weird, kind of like doing my routine at my childhood house. Like, I don't know, I'm so mad at myself for not vlogging back when I actually wanted to in like high school and stuff, for not uploading it. I wish I would have. So this is your sign if you are hesitant about vlogging or about doing YouTube or any of that. I definitely recommend doing it. This is so good. A little bit of peanut butter or almond butter with any type of berry on top. So good. I feel like the Midwest definitely makes me remember how great the little things in life are. Like, you don't need events, glam, craziness to like be happy. This is where I used to sit every morning before school for breakfast if I wasn't like literally having it on a plate on the way there. Believe it or not, I begged my mom for this cup when I was like in high school. The Lord only knows why. I probably liked a guy that liked to fish, which is kind of cringe. Don't get me wrong. I love fishing. It's just like, what is this cup? I kind of want to bring it back to LA because it's so funny. This is the other side of TK's Juicy Pulls. I need to still get my dad his present. Pretty much have everything else covered. I'm really bummed I didn't get to do like our LA gift exchange, but everyone just like left so early and it just wasn't the vibe and presents weren't getting here in time. So I think we're gonna do that in the beginning of January. I'm so excited for the new year. I love New Year's resolutions. I don't know, something about it, like a fresh start, makes me so happy. I'm really excited to go through like my last year's resolutions and see which ones I accomplished, which ones I almost accomplished, or I'm like still on the journey there. It doesn't really bother me if I like don't accomplish anything. I think repetition with like setting your intentions and goals is like how you achieve them. Like, I think if you keep the top like 5 things you want to achieve at the top of every list every time you're about to write your goals down, that keeps you focused on like what you actually want, ultimately helps you achieve them one day. So yeah, I'm really excited to go through that. I'm like a big resolution girly. I'm a big vision board girly. And you know what? They freaking work for me. One of the craziest vision board moments I've ever had is I remember in college, it was like my sophomore year maybe of college. I made a vision board and I like listed all of the companies like I wanted to work for, and I even listed the exact starting salary I wanted my year out of college. Me thinking I was like blowing it out of the water, like, yeah, right, I'll actually get this, blah, blah, blah. It happened. The exact to the last number salary. Like, and it was random. That is my exact salary I got. I don't know, something was in the water, I don't know, but I am a firm believer in like writing shit down and like putting it out in the universe. I always say this analogy when it like comes to dating. When people complain that they're single, I'm like, well, have you told anyone that you want to date? Because I'm like constantly setting my friends up, whether it's in work, like relationships or actual like romantic relationships. I'm always like, oh my gosh, you should like go on a date with this person. I think you'd be a great match, whatever. Which by the way, I want someone to freaking do that for me. But that way one day when your random friend out of nowhere from Podunk, Indiana, or whoever, you know, is in your orbit mentions to you, yeah, I've been really sad. I just went through a breakup and like, you know, they weren't the right person. I'm looking for someone new. Boom. You want that person to be top of mind that was complaining about being single earlier so you can match make them. Or in a different setting, maybe you want a job. If you really want to work for, let's say, CBS. Like there was a time where I was like obsessed and really fascinated with like networks and like actual traditional television and stuff. So let's say you really want to work for someone like that or a specific company. Make sure you tell people in conversation, because you never know when they might be like, oh my God, my cousin's nephew or my cousin's significant other works there. I could totally connect you or whatever. You just never know. So I think it's really good to first sit with yourself and your thoughts and a journal and write down exactly like what you want. Like, what are the top 5 things you're seeking right now? And it can be little too. Like, you really want to purchase a fancy curling iron that you've been wanting. You really want to dye your hair. You really want to, it can be like, it doesn't have to be like life-changing goals, but I think it's good to write down so that it's top of mind, because I think we can get off track very easily, especially with people's comments and, the peanut gallery that loves to talk. I think it's just me always going back to my journal and like my head and my roots and being like, okay, if I want to get to this point, are the steps that I'm making right now actually going to help me get there? Because if not, let's reroute. So I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I think that's why New Year's resolutions, I guess, are really honestly practical, and they're awesome. And it's like a new, fresh start. Yeah, that's my little coffee talk with TK. Okay, started to do my makeup because I'm filming some stuff today, some branded stuff. So I started it, but Alicia just sent me footage and I have to edit the last part of her vlog really quickly. So I'm gonna go knock that out because I'm honestly will get anxiety if I don't knock it out right now. And then I'll come back and finish my makeup in a jiffy. We are still going strong with the fish cup. The aesthetic life chose me. Y'all, since I haven't had a spray tan in a while, and this is my favorite foundation, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. It's like forking fire, you guys know, but it's way too dark, the one I have, because it looks better with the spray tan. So I mixed it with this Glow Stunner Morphe Tinted Moisturizer. I think this might be the one Lauren Giraldo did. I want to check. Glow Stunner. Yeah, I think it is. So anyway, I've been using it lately because it's a way better match for me. That's what it looks like from Morphe. And I forking love it. It's so good. But I'll add like a touch of this to like make it a little dark because this is a little too light. This is too dark. This is fire. I highly recommend this. And this is so bloody expensive. So if you don't want to like spend this much, definitely recommend getting this tinted moisturizer. Also love the Tarte one, but that's too dark for me too right now. This is hitting. Good job, Lauren. Good job, Morphe. Buxom blush also hits. It's Wanderlust. Or no. Wanderlust, I think the shade is Havana. It's really like powdery, but it's so pretty. I always put a shit ton of blush on and then I blend it the fork out. See, it looks like I have a burn, but just watch. My makeup is all out of order today. This is so me, just like having my AirPods in for no apparent reason. Having AirPods in with nothing playing is definitely like my personality trait. It's like my earrings. Like they serve as my earrings. I always have them in. I don't know why. I just forget. If you want my body and you think I'm sexy. One of my favorite things about TikTok is that I feel like it brings all these oldies songs back to life. Like it gives it a second life. And I love oldies music. My favorite song is September by Earth, Wind and Fire, but I also love like Elton John, Rod Stewart, The Temptations, like all those 70s and 80s, like the Rolling Stones and stuff. It's so fun, like having the old music, like the Bee Gees, More Than a Woman. Like that's so cool. I've known that song my whole life and my parents are obsessed with the Bee Gees, but how cool that now my generation kind of is obsessed with it. Okay, this is the final makeup look. I did Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. I never use lip liner. I quite frankly think it doesn't look that great on me. And then this Summer Fridays, this hits. They're like lip butter balm, but this is in the vanilla beige, so it has a little bit of a tint on top. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You can be honest if you don't think it looks good. Yeah, so now we're gonna go film. I'm literally running out of daylight. Sucks balls, but whatever. I'm tired and sad and anxious, just to be blunt. I feel like I never I'm always like, yeah, on camera. Cause I am that's how I am in real life. I am like, psycho! I have high energy, I really do. And I'm normally like a positive Patty. I'm not a negative Nancy, but sometimes we have our moments. I feel like I'm realizing being here because I came here a lot earlier than I was going to. And I'm realizing that it's such a juxtaposition to like what I was saying. But like, I feel like my LA home now feels in a different way more like home than here, which I never in a million years thought I would say. It's actually kind of a good feeling, but a weird feeling, because I'm like, thank fucking God I finally feel like rooted and planted somewhere. But like, it also is weird because I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks. Like, my hometown slash like my childhood home doesn't feel as homey anymore. I don't know, I just feel like the lifestyle that is offered here is just not my vibe anymore. Honestly, I don't think it ever really was my vibe. Like, I remember living here and wanting to be like, I need to be in a big city. Like, I knew it just wasn't me. And Indiana were like magnets trying to attract, and we were just opposites. And it's, I don't know, I'm so conflicted with the like Indiana versus LA stuff, because I love Indiana, I love my hometown, I love my family. But for the point I'm at in my life right now, like, it just ain't it for me. Like, here I get anxious weirdly. Like, I don't know if there's just not much to do, and that brings me anxiety. Even like in my videos, I'm like, what am I gonna do today? There's nothing I'm gonna do, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of an excuse. Like, I definitely can make the video lit, or I can like, there's plenty of things I can do. But things that I want to do, you know? And I feel like I get mad anxiety sometimes even hanging around like loved ones or family members or friends that I've like had growing up. Like, I feel like I still get this thing. I don't know who said this. I saw it on TikTok. I want to say it was the PR girly Robin, but it very well could have been someone else. I don't know. If it was Robin, shout out you. If it was someone else, I'm so sorry, I can't remember. But it was basically, they were saying that like everything, no, it was Audrey Peters. I think it was Audrey Peters. They were saying like everything you do is gonna be cringy until you're successful. Like, she was saying like the person that started Uber, like no one was like, oh my God, that's a fantastic idea. Everyone was like, oh, weirdo, like you're gonna be an entrepreneur and like you think your idea is gonna work. And then they got successful and now they're like, oh my God, it was brilliant. Like, that's just how the world works, unfortunately. And I feel like until I got like some numbers or like a good job and a good following, like people didn't take me seriously, which is fine. I get it. Like, I wouldn't take me seriously either. But even now that I do have like a little bit of like accolades under my belt, I still feel like I get anxiety with the way certain people make me feel. Like what I'm doing isn't good enough, cool enough, all the things. I don't know, maybe this is an inner battle within me that I need to figure out instead of worrying about other people's opinions. And honestly, I'm the type that like normally just doesn't really give a shit what people say or think, and I don't, but also clearly I do, because I feel like whenever I'm here I just get mad anxious sometimes. Like, I feel like when I'm here I do think about what people think more than I do in like LA. It's so weird. But also in LA, just people, I feel like no one dumbs down anyone's passion really as much as like people do here. And I was thinking about it. I literally just did the Calm app meditation. Best $100 I've spent is my subscription with Calm. Yeah, I did a 10-minute meditation and it got me thinking like that's the one thing I forking love about Los Angeles, is how I've never ever felt like dumb or stupid or just any negative thing. I've never felt that for pursuing like my job and career and like what I'm passionate about and what I love. I've never felt any like ill will regarding that, and I feel like here I do. Still, they're like, what? I don't get it. Which is fine. You don't have to get it. And I don't have to please everyone. It just, I feel like it sometimes gets in my head like, am I doing the right thing? And I hate that feeling. Because it's like already hard enough to do something so not the norm, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to like seek sympathy here. I'm just venting. I'm just pouring out my thoughts and why I was anxious today. I literally was like working all day and like on my computer, and I was like, I need to go downstairs and like lay down and do a meditation. It was great. It was like an anxiety one. I wrote in my journal. Like, I'm taking healthy practical steps. This is my TK's Juicy Notes journal. I feel like now that I'm older, I like see things from a different perspective. Like, being here, I'm seeing through more people's bullshit. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't want this to be complaining AF where I'm like, because I really do love my hometown and the way I was raised and, you know, people I'm around. It just got me thinking. Like, I've never, ever, ever felt one weird vibe from any of my friends in LA about like what I want to do. But I think it's like they get it maybe because they're all doing things that are like not the norm either, and it's hard to explain, but they just are supportive. I just can't imagine someone being like, I want to be a nurse, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, what? I feel way better though now after my meditation. I watched a few YouTube videos. I also feel like I'm just not as motivated here. Like, I've been off my workout grind. Like, I went for a really long walk yesterday, and I'm probably gonna work out tonight, but I'm kind of waiting to film this sponsored thing with Alicia soon. So I'm keeping my makeup on for now. The food options here are not very healthy. It sucks because I'm like, it's the holidays, like who fucking cares? But also I think like eating good nutritious food plus working out for me is more of like a mental thing. Like, it like makes me feel good mentally and clear. Like, it makes me mentally clear. I feel like I've been a little foggy lately with what I've been eating and just the habits I've been making, and I'm like, oh my god, it's only the 20th. Like, I'm here for a lot longer. We'll see how long I last. I might change my flight to go back earlier. This is definitely like the biggest struggle when it comes to like living far away. I think also when I'm home too, I get sad about my parents being divorced. It sucks balls still, and it's been what, 3 years? I've been recently realizing how much gratitude I have for like not there being an eyelash on my journal, live laugh love, finding how much gratitude I have for like my friends and my job, just the people I surround myself with in LA. They're so supportive. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of supportive people here too. But yeah, that's what's on my mind. I think it's good to pause when you're feeling off and just like recognize that you're feeling off and go and pause and like meditate, journal, literally sit in the dark, like whatever you need to do, go for a walk. And I feel way better. Also, does anyone else feel like the Panini Panorama Pandemi Lovato, whatever you want to call it, is like low-key coming back, and it's like also giving me anxiety, like stressing me out? Like, am I not gonna be able to see my friends again? Like, am I not gonna be able to travel? I don't know. I just think that's like also stressing me out. Y'all know I like crave social interaction, and I'm like, if that is taken away from me again, I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Gay apparel. Through the ancient Yuletide carol.